Well, in our first story, government is set to begin formal negotiations with the International Monetary Fund for a program from next month. The Finance Ministry has also put together the country's enhanced domestic program expected to guide the discussions. Deputy Minister of Finance Abnor Sasari, who disclosed this on PM Express Business Edition, also highlighted what government is doing to fix the depreciating cedi.
Government, through Ministry of Finance and the Bank of Ghana as well, are all together putting measures in place to help curb this. And one is our engagement with the IMF. We have had the initial engagement where it was a fact-finding mission, and we are hoping that come September, quickly we will sit. Hopefully, within 4 to 6 months, we should have a program, and that should.
Just some clarity from you that the negotiations will commence officially from September. Am I right?
So, we began with the data. They began with the facts finding where they came to collect some data. And in September, yes, we will also, go sit with them and then continue to engage. We are hoping that within 4 to 6 months, we should have a program with them. And that will bring in some foreign currency as well. Again, the Afri-Exim loan of $750 million that Parliament approved for us, we are looking at sort of concluding almost everything, and then we're hoping that that will also show up the reserves that we have. And Bank of Ghana said, Bank of Ghana is on its side, is also coming out with programs and policies that they believe will help boost reserves. They are engaging the mining companies to make sure that they also buy their gold. Again, they are also, one thing that is also affecting us in a way, and that is causing that huge depreciation, is the BDCs. The BDCs, that's the oil marketing companies, also need oil and money, foreign exchange to bring in the oil. Bank of Ghana is also coming out with a special program for them to make sure that they give them what they need to curb the speculation and also help reduce the depreciation of the cedi. So in all, these are the measures that we are putting in place in the short term, but these are just short-term measures. The long-term measures are the measures that this government put in place right from day one, and that is the one district, one factory, and the planting for food and jobs, because we believe that all these things will go a long way to reduce our dependence on imports. And then once we reduce our dependence on imports, reduce the amount of foreign currency that we need. And this will also boost our exports and rather also bring in the foreign currency that we need.
Well, Director of Operations at Dalex Finance, Joe Jackson, who was also on the program, described the current economic downturn as one of the toughest he has experienced since 1981.
The Treasury bill, 91-day Treasury bill, was 12.5% per annum in January. Now it is almost 28. That's what, 2.5%, 200 and plus percent increase. What does that do to your planning? What does that do to your budgeting? What does that do to an institution who has given out fixed rate loans? And it's a turmoil, right? So and what does that do to even the issues of raising deposits? Because the cedi has now, people have lost confidence in the cedi due to the depreciation we faced this year. So people are saying, I want to move my money out into dollars. So and prices have gone up for everything. So it's a tough environment for everybody. Let no one be deceived. It's a tough environment. I think the numbers speak for itself. Inflation at 31. The cedi has depreciated to what? On the in the forex bureaus over 9.5. The what do you call it? reserves at a historic low. Right.
Businesses are having to grapple with the depreciation of the cedi and high inflation. The local currency now at 9 cedis, 28 pesos to the dollar. Inflation affecting everything. We have heard industries talk about the toll on of the current economic condition on the operations. Earlier this week, we reported that cement prices will see an increase from next week. So the real estate industry not left out. Joining us, Sami Amegaibo, Executive Secretary of the Ghana Real Estate Developers Association. Grateful to have you on the program this Friday afternoon. We had Joe Jackson say the downturn is the worst he's experienced since 1981. Just how seriously is the real estate industry affected? Oops, we can't hear you. You'd have to unmute, sir.
Okay. Is it okay now?
Yeah, that's more like it. Thanks.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, and good afternoon to your viewers. In fact, as I got the message that I should be engaged on Joy within the past 30 minutes or so, it has been all a discussion on this exchange rate with colleagues, and it is amazing how within 48 hours the dollar has depreciated so badly. And I'm hearing that we are probably hitting 10 already. I don't know how true this is. I'll yet to find out myself, but this is very, very, very unwelcoming for industry.
Well, at our last check, it was 9 cedis, 28 pesos to the dollar. Things may have changed from morning till now.
This might probably be interbank, but I'm talking about the forex. The forex bureaus, they are doing much higher than that. And you know, with the kind of business we do, which is the real estate business, our product takes a long time to mature. So for you to start a project paying, let's say, 40 cedis for a bag of cement from January, and then ending at around 65 around this time, it is difficult. How do you even price your product? This is very, very serious, and it's having serious consequences for our businesses. And something has to be done. Has to be done to check it. If not, the fear is that there's going to be a lot of downturn for businesses, and if we are not careful, the long-term repercussions will be much higher. If businesses don't get any reliefs from government initiatives or interventions, and we continue to sit down and look at things to happen as they are happening right now, I think the chances are that businesses might go down, and it's going to affect the living standard of people. People are having families at home. They will be asked to go home. And when they go home, their children will be dependent on them. And you can see the repercussions, how it will transcend down to affect the entire country if we don't do anything about it.
And what does this also mean for the Ghanaian who is looking to acquire a building?
It's a very difficult one right now. Sometimes when we have this increase adjustments, the unforeseen hikes in exchange rates, it is usually the strategy of estate developers to hedge the prices as against, they index the prices so that we are pushing the bit. But you are also aware that Bank of Ghana is advising us not to do that. And so you put us in a dilemma as to how we are going to overcome it. Because you invest 100,000 cedis into a project, and over a period of time, it depreciates, the value depreciates so badly. How do you recover? The only way we're able to make amends with some of the dollar CD exchange rate has been indexing. But now they say we shouldn't index. So it's a difficulty. I have my calculator by me. Anytime somebody calls me about a house, I quickly multiply for you. If you call me back by evening time, the price might change in cedis for you. You know, and it is going to be very terrible for people who are having mortgages. Can you imagine a client who has a mortgage application in the pipeline, and we are not supposed to charge them dollars? So he comes to your office, you give him the exchange rate today, he's processing his document. The process is going through. He hasn't reached the end where you can hand over the property to him. All you have to do is to call him and tell the person that, I'm sorry, the price I gave you as at last week when they started your processes has changed, and that I'm unable to accept the same quotation in CD terms as I gave it to you. It's unacceptable. and it is unfriendly for businesses to undergo such difficult situation.
That's tough. One of the reasons for the depreciation and inflation is the excessive imports. We can't really import building materials as well. Is it a difficult thing to build our capacity to produce some of the items locally?
For us, we are consumers of the product. And so whatever we can find available on the market, I'm telling you, we'll use them. It is just that we don't have adequate resources to produce the kind of input that we have. People think that it is just us who don't want to use, but in actual fact, the things are not available. And you'll be surprised to know that some of the things that are even available, if you compare them to what we get them from outside, they are even cheaper and easily accessible than those that are produced locally. A few local materials manufacturers have taken up to, for example, brick production, for example. There is an association for brick manufacturers right now who are doing excellently well, that I commend them so much for taking that market up and are doing their best to increase their numbers and their visibility across the nation. But apart from that, I don't see any effort in any other materials. Iron rod, we are heavily dependent. Cement, we are heavily dependent. Even now that we have a huge number of cement manufacturers in the country, we have over 12 plants producing cement in the country right now. The number one material that they require, which constitutes about 95%, is clinker. And clinker is imported. So irrespective of the number of factories that are in the country, the major issue is clinker importation. And so we are not getting any benefit of that, those numbers in the system right now. And in our iron rods production too, the same thing. We are heavily dependent, and surprisingly, I hear 42 to 50% of our iron rod importation comes from where there's war now between Ukraine and Russia. And so that tells you that there's no end in sight right now if we are going to continue to depend on them. So we have called that the policy of government of one district, one factory, and all those things that they keep talking about. It sounds laudable, but on the ground, I'm not sure it is addressing exactly what we need, especially in my industry called the construction. I haven't seen anything much in that area. It's just one tile factory that I remember that in the past 6 years that has come on board, and it's helping to maybe reduce our importation on tiles into the market. But apart from that, major materials like sanitary wares, electrical fittings, and all those things, we heavily depend on importation. And if nothing is checked, and we don't take advantage of what COVID has taught us and begin to assist local production for our inputs, we will continue to suffer, and it is not going to help us.
It makes you wonder why it's so difficult to build capacity in that area. Do you have any ideas for government whose last hope, it seems, is an IMF program right now to stabilize the economy?
Well, we keep saying that sometimes when hardships like this occur, it is all about strategy. And you have to decide whether you want to sustain businesses to stay alive and still give hope to the people, or you kill the businesses, then you don't even get taxes to collect in the first place. So I think that if there are tax components, if you cannot do anything about the cost of importation, which is the materials we depend heavily in terms of international prices, you can do something about the taxes you slap on this material when they come in. So why don't we look at either taking off taxes temporarily for businesses to be able to bring these materials in so that the price will reduce a bit, or cut them down as much as possible. And my argument has been that some of these taxes are a percentage of the component price. So if government, somebody was importing a material which was 100 cedis, and the price has gone up to 150, and there's a tax component which is a percentage of the price, it means that government has indirectly benefited from it because the price has gone up, and the tax component will go up automatically because of the percentage application. So why don't we take off this tax that are percentage of the product out of it, and then give it just a marginal flat rate to make it easier for us to have the price a bit reduced. I've said it several times, we have argued it. In fact, we met the Ghana Chamber of Construction Industry, of which Greda is a member, met with a select committee at Parliament. And I remember very well that Honorable Kwawu and Honorable Adongo were part of this meeting, which we expressed our concern and give them some of these laudable ideas in the presence of the cement manufacturers, we talked at length and we were hoping that something was going to come out of this. But as I see it, nothing much has happened. The only thing I remember that the cement manufacturers spoke about is that some concerns they had at the harbor when they brought their clinker in was an issue which some address has been given to that. But in terms of the material reaching our shores and the taxes that are slapped on it before we buy them, I haven't heard anything. And I think government should be doing something to relieve industry from this pressure than to look on and look on as if nothing is happening.
So finally, between now and when we secure a deal with the IMF, that should be maybe first quarter of next year or the second quarter. If there is no dramatic improvement in the state of our economy, what would that do to businesses in the real estate sector?
It's very, I'm afraid. I'm afraid. And I'm not too sure. In fact, this current situation of this rapid exit is a shock to all of us. I guess as industry stakeholders, we will have a meeting over this matter. Luckily for us, our president, the president of Greda, was in a meeting with the governor. The chamber actually visited the governor and he was part of it and had the opportunity to lay some of these concerns to him. And so he said you would take it up. In fact, jokingly, he said, if you had come to me around 2018, I wouldn't have minded you. But now I can see clearly how you are suffering. You know, so that goes to suggest that they can see the effect and the bite on us. And they have promised that they will look into the concerns that we have given to them. But how timely they will respond to us is what I'm not sure about. Because it is really a concern and we are very much afraid. I'm not too sure what holds for us. But as a business group, we are going to meet, we are going to strategize and see how best we can confront the issue moving forward in collaboration with what government himself will want to do for us.
I can really tell these are difficult times. Thanks so much for your time this afternoon. Sami Amegai-Bothe, he's Executive Secretary of Ghana Real Estate Developers Association. Appreciate your time with us. Now, we have the jobs report from the Bank of Ghana. The number of jobs advertised in selected print and online media platforms, which partially gauges labor demand in the economy, decreased marginally in June relative to what was observed in the corresponding period a year ago. That's according to data from the Bank of Ghana. There's more in this report.
In total, 2,662 job adverts were recorded as compared to 2,730 for the same period in 2021. This indicated a decline of 2.5% year-on-year. On a month-on-month basis, the number of job vacancies in June 2022 increased by 2.4% from the 2,599 jobs advertised in May 2022. Cumulatively, for the first two quarters of 2022, the total number of advertised jobs declined by 4.7% to 16,290. Meanwhile, total number of private sector SNIT contributors, which partially gauges employment conditions.
Now, as part of moves to redefine its operations, Ghana Postal Company Limited has launched the Scatterbox product. According to the managing director of Ghana Post, Bice Oseko, the move is to ensure that there is synergy between delivery services and consumers. Speaking to Joy Business, he revealed that the Scatterbox is to complement other courier services in the country.
Works hand in hand with favorite courier services to ensure that customers receive the most reliable and stress-free delivery services. According to Bice Oseko, as Ghana roll out structured delivery and addressing system, institutions and households can now rely on the verifiable addresses using the Scatterbox.
At Ghana Post Head Office, we launched our new innovative scuttle box system. Now, the innovative scuttle box system is our solution to the cravings of individuals for a more convenient way of communication and receiving parcels and mails. The scuttle box system is like a post office at your own home or your own business place. And so in the past, where everybody would walk or drive to the post office to access their mails, we are creating a post office right by your doorsteps. And that is what the scuttle box is. It's an ease of communication device that we are rolling out, and it is linked to our national postal system on the backs of our national digital addressing system, which is the Ghana Post GPS. And so anybody can request and become a subscriber of a scuttle box.
Speaking at the launch, the Deputy Minister for Communication, Ama Pumaboatin, urged local assemblies to work with the Ghana Post to connect households and businesses across the country so they may benefit from the scuttle box services.
The scuttle box provides a direct mailing service to develop efficient mail or parcel box management solutions, which can take advantage of or which can be accessible by the B2B, B2C, or B2 government from the comforts of their homes, offices, or anywhere. These opportunities and solutions also grant our metropolitan, municipal, and district assemblies to collaborate more with Ghana Post to connect homes and businesses with verified digital addresses to the new Ghana Post scuttle, postal, and parcel box systems.
As with the single parcel box, one can now have a combined set of boxes for their businesses, apartments, townhome community, and more. Residents will be provided with a key to their own secure locker and securely provided access to a parcel-sized box.
Now, ADB has pledged to strengthen its efforts in advancing key thematic areas in a broader strategy to drive growth, especially in retail deposit mobilization. The bank recorded 81.6 million cedis as profit for last year, a significant growth over the previous year. Managing Director John Kofi Mensah disclosed this at the bank's annual general meeting in Accra.
Speaking at the bank's 35th annual general meeting, the MD of ADB, Dr. John Kofi Mensah, said the bank will continue to operate the 3-year strategic plan, which refocused on agricultural value chain businesses. He, however, said his outfit will exhibit prudence in lending to limit the impact of the global crisis on its business.
We structured a department that is responsible for monitoring and recovery. We have also put in place a mechanism where they are involved from the very first day of disbursing a facility so that they can monitor it regularly, keep it in line. We are doing all those things because the negative effects of the global economy will definitely have adverse effects on the companies, and that are our clients. If we are not doing well, then the NPLs will start rising. So we will. And you can see that we started about 3 years ago, bringing down the NPLs from 48, came to 34, 31. Now it's running at about 27.
Board chairman of the bank, Dasibre Equiamwa Ejapon II, expressed confidence of the prospect of the bank, saying it is on the right track towards full recovery. He later told the media that the bank is focused on reducing the bank's non-performing loans.
Talking about the NPLs, that's the non-performing loans. Yes, and it's something that is really hitting the bank. So we've put in place measures to try and see how best we can recover some of the loans. And in the long term, in the long way, I think that is what is going to help sustain the bank. Because if the NPLs keep rising, then the future of the bank will be in a dicey situation. So it's something we have to do to try and bring the NPLs down, to make sure the bank really still exists and stays in business.
The size of ADB's balance sheet grew over the year 2022 from 5.7 billion cedis to 6.5 billion cedis in 2021, representing 12.9% growth. The non-performing loan portfolio of the bank also witnessed a reduction from 34% in 2020 to 31% last year.
Next, your money tip on Money Lab.
Hello everyone, and welcome once again to Money Lab. It's your friend in wealth creation, Lawrence Oshilaja Wampong. Now today we'll be looking at the benefits of investing in government securities, having defined what government securities are in our last episode. Number 1, government securities are risk-free. Government securities carry lower risk compared to other assets like equities because the returns are guaranteed by the government. Number 2, steady income. Now, bonds pay a fixed rate of interest which can provide a steady income stream. Number 3, good liquidity. Government securities can easily be sold for cash and or used as collateral for loans. And finally, portfolio diversification. When you invest in government bonds, it gives you a good diversification of your portfolio, which means you do not put all your eggs in one basket. I am so delighted to come your way on Money Lab today, and next time I can't wait to bring you our next topic. Thank you for joining us. See you next time.
And there's plenty news to catch up on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. Head over there, get the day's latest. Yes, myjoyonline.com/business, including news from Joe Jackson saying the current economic situation is one of the toughest he's experienced since 1981. My name is Daryl. Thanks for watching. Enjoy your weekend.